Yo, what is going on, you guys? It's your boy King Sanders here. We are back with another day of sports betting. Yes, I am in the car. I'm doing a car video. Feel like my boy Ev from Guy Boston Sports, but no. In all seriousness, though, I recorded a video last night, and I ended up having recording a video last night. It had a bunch of good stuff in it. Of course, it had LeBron, scoring the basket to break the title, break the scoring record, the whole 9 yards. I had it fully edited out, was ready to, and went ahead and uploaded it. And for whatever reason, I was on my way to school this morning, and it, for some reason, didn't end up getting uploaded. I have no idea what ended up happening. So it was kind of upsetting, to say the very least, but, it is what it is. We ended up having a pretty decent day as of yesterday. We ended up only losing a little bit of juice. Realistically, my video plays ended up going 2-0. The added plays that I had went 0-2. So, it is what it is. I should have just stuck with some other stuff. We'll talk about it here in just a minute. But I did just want to go ahead and say I'm sorry for not the usual upload. I normally would have one out, and I should have had one out. So I don't know. I'm going to look whenever I get home, but I'm not sure if it was like a scheduling issue, if it was some sort of a corrupted file. I'm not exactly sure what happened, but regardless, we do still have a video here for you guys today. So without any further ado, let's dive into a quick recap. Like I said, our two video plays yesterday, we had Parlay under 20.5 points. The first half was looking sweat-free. He finished with like 4 points in the end of the first half. It was very like sweat-free. But then at the end of the third, or in the third, I guess, he really turned up. He had a really good third quarter, finished with like 15 points, ended up scoring 1 point in the fourth quarter, finished right at 16. So it was very close. I saw a lot of people on his ladder, or on his same game parlay of 15 plus. So shout out to you guys. You guys ended up still hitting it, but it is what it is. And then we ended up winning that one. Then we had the Nuggets -8. This was like the freest bet I've ever had in my life. It was actually kind of crazy. There was not even a little bit of competition on this one. So we ended up winning that one as well. But we had our two added plays as well. We had the Pelicans and the Hawks over 237.5. This one started off really good, as all of my overs do lately. They all started off really good in the first half, and then the second half they really just kind of went downhill. Ended up losing that one. I think it was close to getting into overtime, but unfortunately the Pelicans ended up pulling away. So, it is what it is. Then we ended up having Anthony Davis over 39.5 points plus rebounds. And the part that I'm really upset about myself with is I put in the comment section yesterday, somebody had told me, was talking about Anthony Davis's points, right? And I told them, I was like, I just don't really know if it'll happen. I think that that LeBron is going to be taking a lot of those shots. I just don't think this is going to be a night where Anthony Davis is really going to get the touches or the shots that he normally would get. So why did I add this play? I don't know. I fell into the narrative. I fell into the trap that everybody and their brother was talking about how perfect it would be for LeBron to hit the record tomorrow, or Thursday, excuse me, when the hit the record on Thursday when he's playing the Bucks to pass Kareem on his former team at home. Like, I fell into that narrative completely. It is what it is. Anthony Davis shot the ball, I think it was like 9 times at the end of the game. I know that there's some backlash stuff with Anthony Davis right now because of, I saw the way that he responded when LeBron hit the shot to actually break the record. And so I don't know what all is going on with that, but regardless, that's not why we're here. Not going to be talking about that, but it is pretty crazy. But regardless, let's go ahead and talk about today's plays. So we do have 2 plays as of right now going on that the lines might have moved. I'm actually checking that as we speak right now. But for right now, let's go ahead and dive into the first play. This is going to be a first take video, so it's probably going to be all jumbled. There's not going to be really any restarts or anything along those lines. But without any further ado, let's go ahead and dive into the first play. So for our first play of the day, we have the Pacers and the Heat under 222.5 at -110 odds. Now, I like this play for a couple different reasons. The Heat are 15-11 to the under on the road this year, so they're more profitable than not to the under on the road. And the Heat are 14-12 to the under at home. So both of these teams are more profitable than not in these designated spots. And Indiana, they are a better offense at home. They actually score 5 fewer points per game on the road, which is something that we love to see. And the Heat, they're dead last when it comes to points per game. So as good of a defense and offense, just in general, as the Heat is, they're a very slow-paced team. They don't really get a whole bunch of shots up, and it does affect their scoring quite a bit. So they are last in points per game. So I do think that the Heat side of things is going to go under as well. And with how good the Heat defense is, I think they're going to keep that Pacers team at a pretty low total as well. Also, the Pacers, they are 12th in points allowed in the last 3 games. So I know that the Pacers defense hasn't necessarily been great, but they have picked it up here in the last 3 games. Ever since they got Tyrese Halliburton back, this has looked like a whole new team, and I think that we can see more of that going forward. Also, the Heat do allow the 2nd fewest points per game to opposing teams. Like I mentioned, one of the best defenses in all of basketball. Miami is also 4th in defensive efficiency, and Indiana is 7th in their last 3. So Indiana has been legit here recently. They've been a very, very solid team. So I do think that this is a pretty good spot to go ahead and take an under. I could 110% be wrong about this one, but it does look like the Heat and Pacers line has actually moved up slightly to 223. So I like it even more at 223. You may be seeing a push there, but I still think that it's pretty good value. So that is going to be our first official play of the day. Pacers and the Heat under 222.5 at -110 odds. Now for our second official play of the day, we are taking the Hornets +4.5 here versus the Wizards at -110 odds. Now, I know the Hornets are not necessarily a great team, but I think that this line is telling you pretty much everything that you need to know. The Hornets line has now moved up to +5. So if you take it at +5, I think that that's a really good value too. So we're going to be taking it at that +5 since this is the first official take. So Hornets +5 is the official play here versus the Washington Wizards. Now, this is more so just fading the Wizards at home. The Wizards have not been a very good team against the spread at home this year. They're just 9-14-1 against the spread at home. Charlotte, on the flip side of things, has been covering a lot here recently. They are 15-14-2 against the spread on the road, and they have covered in 3 of their last 4 games as underdogs. So they've been pretty good here as an underdog, especially on the road. And it looks like for this game, Kyle Kuzma and Bradley Beal are both listed as questionable. Those are pretty big. I think that those are obviously 2 of their best players. And if they are listed as questionable and the Charlotte Hornets are only 5-point underdogs, I think that somebody does end up sitting out. I'm not 100% sure which one, but I still do think that somebody will be sitting out for them. I think that line is kind of telling you exactly where it needs to be. Washington is just 4-8-1 against the spread as a home favorite this year. So they have not been good at covering as a home favorite. And I think that this is a shot that the Charlotte Hornets end up winning this game outright. But I do like this one. In Charlotte, they won their last matchup here versus the Washington Wizards earlier this year. And they have won or covered in 8 out of their last 11 games. So the Charlotte Hornets have all the history here versus the Washington Wizards. So I think that this is a pretty good spot to be able to take an underdog here. So we're going to be riding with it for our second and final play of the day. Hornets +4.5 here, or 5+5, excuse me. Hornets +5 versus the Wizards at -110 odds. Now, I'll talk about a couple leans that I did end up having. I do like Draymond Green over 6.5 assists here versus Portland at -120. I think that's a good spot. Without Steph Curry, he's been pretty good to this line, and he's been good here recently, of course. But he is also going to have a tough defensive matchup with Jeremy Grant, which may force him to pass the ball even more. So I do like that one as well. And another one I saw from my Twitter, actually. Somebody had commented on one of my tweets. He had said Jordan Poole over 2.5 turnovers. Now, it's been a lock here recently. He's been cruising over his overs. So I really don't mind that as a spot either. I don't know how I feel about betting on somebody's over and turnovers. Like, I don't know, I feel like that'd be a hater bet, but I don't know, I could be wrong. I could 110% be wrong, but I do like the spot there as well. If you guys wanted a couple extra leans. Now, I'm going to go ahead and dive in. Now that I'm out of class, I'm going to dive into some more plays, and hopefully I can find some more winners here for you guys. If I end up adding any plays, they will be in the pinned comment section down below, and they will also be on my Twitter, so make sure you guys do check out both those spots. Like I said, normally I'm not in the car, like, ever. I don't really know what happened, but for some reason the upload didn't end up happening. So this is what we're rolling with today. But so hopefully you guys end up having a great day today. Win all your bets. These are just the two that I do like the best. So I will go ahead and update if I add any more. But thank you guys so much for watching. This is King Center signing out. Peace.